If you've been thinking about selling on Amazon FBA in the United States as a non-resident, you're in the right place. Amazon in the US is hands down the largest marketplace in the world, and the opportunities there are absolutely massive compared to other countries. Now, some people think you need to be a US citizen to sell there, or that you need some complicated setup that's gonna cost thousands of dollars. But luckily, that's not the case. In this video, I'm gonna walk you through the complete step-by-step process to legally sell on Amazon FBA in the US as a non-resident. And I'm gonna cover everything you need. Setting up your US business entity, getting an EIN number, opening a US bank account, registering for Amazon Seller Central with your business details, and I'll even break down the tax situation so you know exactly what you're dealing with. So by the end of this tutorial, you have everything you need to start selling on the biggest marketplace in the world, completely legally and properly set up. And before we just start creating our seller account, it's important to understand what you actually need and what you don't. What you do need are three core things. One, a legally registered US business entity, then an EIN, which is your business tax ID number, and a US bank account to receive payments from Amazon. And that's pretty much it. And most likely, just like you, I am not an American. I'm a Dutch citizen currently living in Bali, and I've been selling on Amazon.com for months now using this exact setup. So let's get into the actual tutorial and start setting up our company. Okay, now the first thing we need to do is create a US business entity. And I recommend going for an LLC. An LLC gives you protection, it's simple and cheap to maintain, and it's perfect for Amazon FBA sellers. And the reason why we need a US entity is because Amazon requires proper business documentation for sellers, and having a US LLC makes everything else in this process much smoother, from banking to taxes to account verification, and more about all of this later. And to form our LLC, we need an LLC name, a US address, a registered agent in the States, and the owner details of yourself. And technically, you would be able to do it yourself, but you need a US address, and for that, you have to use a registered agent in the States. Now, every LLC has to list an agent in the US, and they basically receive mail, legal notices on your behalf, and this structure is 100% accepted by Amazon, and it's basically your legal presence in the US as a non-resident. Now, personally, I use and recommend Northwest Registered Agent. I've used them multiple times and they handle everything professionally, and you could try to do this yourself, but honestly, it's worth having professionals handle all the paperwork for you. They will also help with your annual forms and tax applications, and they help obtain your EIN number, which we will also need. Now, if you want to follow along, I will leave a link in the description to Northwest, or you can simply go to buyhassle.com/Northwest. Once you're there, you will see the main page from where we can click on Get Started. Once we've done that, we can select the right business type. And for us, that's going to be an LLC. It's the most simple and complete for Amazon sellers. We don't want to open a corporation or a non-profit company. And then next is where it gets really important. You need to choose the right state for your LLC. And for non-US residents, we basically have two options, Wyoming and Delaware. The reason for this is because LLC ownership stays anonymous in these states, and as a non-resident, the tax rate is 0% on income earned through your LLC. It basically acts like a pass-through entity for your business. Now, Wyoming has lower annual fees. We're talking about $60 per year versus $300 per year in Delaware. So personally, I went with Wyoming, which is what I can recommend as well. So right here, I simply select Wyoming. And right here, you will see the pricing for the state filing and registering the LLC. And when using my link, you're getting a good discount, as normally they charge over $200 for the registered agent and filing service fee. So from here, we can click Next. And here they will ask for your business name. Now, I would recommend choosing something unique that you can use for your Amazon business. I will do Vector Tube and then LLC. And for the second option right here for this question, we can leave it at no, and then they will ask for the business purpose. You can either use the generic business purpose right here or type something like e-commerce on Amazon. In my case, I'll try to keep it simple, so I'll toggle this button right here. That's totally fine. And now we get to the address section. And this part is important. For the physical address that will appear on the record with the state, we want to use the registered agent address of Northwest. And you want to do the same thing with the mailing address. That means whenever you receive any official mail or legal documents, Northwest will handle it for you and send it to you digitally. Next up is the management selection, and here we have two options, member managed or manager managed. We want to select member managed and simply fill in our first name, our last name, and then also right here select the address of the registered agent. For the contact information, this is where you can enter your own home address and your information. This part is gonna stay private and is not published anywhere. It's just used internationally by Northwest for your order and payment details. Then we have some additional add-ons which you don't need. Business identity, this is a free 90-day trial. It's basically a phone service, website hosting, a domain name. We can also get this separately. I would not recommend getting this. And then we go to the next optional items. And here we don't need S corporation election with the IRS. That's only for US citizens with a specific tax setup. We also don't need premium mail service, trademark filing, or DBA trade name filing as well. But there's one thing we definitely do need, and that is the tax ID. This is also known as the EIN number. As we can see right here, a federal tax ID is the same as your employer identification number. And this is absolutely required for opening a US bank account, for your Amazon seller account, and for basically anything related to your LLC operations. Think of your EIN number as a social security number for your business, and this is what you'll use instead of a personal SSN number when you register for your Amazon seller account. Now, here we have two options, and it's pretty much one for US citizens and one for not. For non-citizens like us, it's going to be a little more expensive, so you want to enable this one as it's 100% necessary. Now, it costs a little bit more, but it's just a one-time payment and it's completely worth it. Now, right now, IRS processing times are super long and doing it yourself is a real hassle. Northwest handles the entire EIN application for you and delivers the document directly through your dashboard. After you selected all of this, right here you can make the payment, then Northwest will file the company and get the EIN number for you. Now, once this is all complete, this is everything that you will have. You will receive the article of organization. This is the official proof that your LLC is legally formed for us in Wyoming. 2, the registered agent address, your official address in Wyoming from Northwest for your business. You get the login to your company dashboard inside Northwest to manage all your company info, the filings and documents. Also, you receive the document with your EIN number. This is your business tax ID used for your LLC operations. And of course, your LLC name and branding, which acts as your official business identity. And now that this company setup is done, we can move over to step 2, which is setting up a US business bank account as a foreigner. And here's something that trips up a lot of international sellers. You absolutely need a US bank account to receive payments from Amazon. And Amazon.com only pays out in US dollars. Now, technically, it would be possible to link a foreign bank account for payouts, but it's much easier to open a US bank account with your LLC to stay within one entity. And this can be crucial because if all your sales are in US dollars and you'll likely be paying your suppliers in dollars too, if you're constantly converting currencies back and forth, you're gonna lose money on exchange fees. Now, the good news is that there are several online banks that will open US accounts for international business owners. And my top recommendations are Mercury, Relay, and also Airwallex. All of them are designed specifically for online businesses, and they're much more friendly to international applicants than traditional banks in the US. Now, Mercury Bank is probably the most popular choice among Amazon sellers. They have a completely online application process, and they understand e-commerce businesses. This is also what I personally have, and is working perfectly. And also, they are all FDIC insured. Now, Relay and Airwallex are also excellent options with similar features. Now, let me quickly walk you through the Mercury application process. I'll leave a link to Mercury down below once again. First, you simply want to sign in with your email. And from here, you're gonna give the company name. So for me, that was VectorTube and LLC. Then firstly here you want to enter your EIN number you got from Northwest. Then you need to enter your legal business address. And right here, as you can see, you can use the address of your registered agent. So that's what you want to fill in here. Same with the physical address right here. Then you want to give some information about yourself for KYC. And here you then want to upload the articles of organization that you received as well, and the EIN PDF document to verify the number. Then you give some more information about your business, and then Mercury will approve your account usually within 1 to 2 business days. I only had to wait 1 day, which was perfect, and once approved, you get your round-trip number and account number, which you will need for Amazon. And I'm sure that with both Relay and Airwallex, this process would be very similar. Okay, great. Now that we have our LLC, our EIN, a US bank account, we're ready to register for our Amazon seller account. So let me actually show you how to go through this registration. You want to go to sellercentral.amazon.com, and once again, if you want to follow along, I'll leave a link down in the description. From here you can simply log in with your existing Amazon account if you're already selling in another country. So I'll click on login, and then here it's going to prompt us to welcome to selling with Amazon. We need to answer a few questions to create our account, and here you want to make sure you see this message. You're applying to sell on Amazon.com in the US. As an Amazon seller, you can also sell on other Amazon stores worldwide. So here we click get started. Now it's going to ask where is your business registered. Obviously that's the United States, so I'll select United States right here, and then we click save and continue. What type of business do we have? And here we want to select privately owned business because our LLCs are privately owned. Then we click save and continue. And here you can see this is what they ask: a valid government issued ID or passport. And this doesn't need to be a US passport, this needs to be your local one. A recent bank account or credit card statement, a chargeable credit or debit card, and a mobile phone number. And when we go over this, as you can see, we can read some more information of each point. For the recent bank account or credit card statement, this can be a statement from your Mercury bank or whatever bank you opened, so they can verify that the business name on the statement matches your LLC name. And then the credit or debit card simply needs to be any card that they can charge, as a professional seller account costs $40 per month to run. Now from here we can simply click this button right here and then agree and continue. And then we are prompted right here where we need to provide more information about our business, about ourselves, the store, and then the verification. So let's start with the business information. And here we want to fill in our LLC name that is registered. So for me that was Vector Tube LLC. Then for the company registration number, you can find this on your document of the Articles of Organization. It's also called the filing ID, the state ID, or entity number. You can find it right here at the top right corner of the document. Then for the registration extract, here you can simply upload the Articles of Organization PDF that we also used to find our CRN number. So you simply want to upload that document right here. And then for the registered business address, simply fill in your Wyoming address right here. Just like that, they simply want to fill in a phone number for verification. Now, I like to do that with a US number as well. So for that, I got this website, which is called Receive SMS. I'll leave a link down below once again, where you can rent a US number for a monthly fee. So I'll simply copy my number, go back to Amazon and paste it in right here. Then I'll simply do this verification. And now they sent a one-time PIN code to this number. As you can see, I receive it immediately. So I copy it and I'll paste it in just like that to verify. And now we verified the phone number. Next up, we need to give some information about ourselves. So details about your name, citizenship, where you're born. You need to verify your ID, and you need to fill in where you live yourself. And then for the residential address, it's really important that you select your own address where you live in your own country. So for me, that will be in the Netherlands with my address here. And then I also need to approve that I live here with like a utility bill, a gas bill, water bill. So don't use the address of the registered agent right here. This is about you personally. Then we have some extra questions. Point of contact is beneficial owner, director, or trustee of the business. This answer is yes, because we are. And then the second question, primary contact person is the only beneficial owner of the business. For me, that's also yes. And also for you, if you set up this LLC just under your own name, then we confirm this button and we can click next. Then as you can see right here, we will be charged for $40 for a seller account on Amazon. So right here, you simply want to fill in your card information and make this payment. After this, Amazon is going to ask you some questions about your Amazon storefront setup. So your store name, which will appear publicly on your Amazon listings, if you're selling branded products, if you manufacture your own products, or if you have inventory where it's from, all these kinds of questions. After this, they will look over all the information and approve your account within 24 and 48 hours. Once approved, you'll get access to your Amazon Seller Central dashboard from where you can set up your product listings. And here's something really important when selling on Amazon on the US, and that is the de minimis rule. The de minimis rule is a US customs regulation that decides whether you have to pay import taxes or custom duties on goods entering the country. It's basically like a tax-free limit for imports. And the US has actually one of the most generous de minimis thresholds around the world of up to $800 with no import duty at all. This means that if you're shipping small batches of inventory or product samples worth under $800, it enters the US completely tax-free. Then we have the second range, which is up to $2,500, and here you don't need a full customs broker. It can often be handled automatically through your shipping company as well. But then above $2,500, you must file a formal customs entry and usually hire a licensed custom broker to handle this paperwork. However, for 99% of sellers, they stay within the green zone, so this rule is actually very beneficial. Alright, then next, let's talk a bit more about taxes. And this is where many people get confused, including me before I started. Now, the good news is that most countries have a tax treaty with the United States. And how this works is, if you're a non-resident with a single-member LLC formed in Wyoming or Delaware, your LLC is basically treated as a disregarded pass-through entity by default. This means there's no federal income tax in the US since it acts as a pass-through to your own company in your own country. There will be no income tax if formed in one of these two states, and you only pay tax in your country of residence based on your local tax rules and double tax treaties. For example, for me, I live in the Netherlands. If my US Amazon profits flow to my Dutch company, I pay Dutch income tax and zero within the US. Then next up, the federal tax treaties. Just some information about this. The US has treaties with over 60 countries, including all EU nations, the UK, Canada, Australia, and many more countries. This prevents double taxation, so you won't pay tax in your home country and the US on the same income. You simply need to fill in a W-8 Ben E for your LLC with Amazon to confirm your foreign tax residency. And when you have a treaty, you will never be double taxed. Then next up, we also have sales tax and the annual compliance, also very important. For the sales tax, this is super easy, and this is why I like selling on Amazon so much. They collect sales tax themselves in almost every US state under the Marketplace Facilitator Law. So pretty much what this means, sales tax is managed automatically by Amazon, so you don't need to do anything extra. For example, if a customer from California buys your product for $100 through your Amazon listing, $7.25, in this case the California rate, so this is what the customer pays, Amazon then automatically sends this amount to the right tax department, and you then simply receive your $100 payout as your listing, and there are no extra steps needed from your side. And we also have annual filings and compliance for your LLC specifically, and even if you don't owe any tax in the US, which you don't, you still have to file compliance forms each year to stay legally active. Those two are the Form 5472 and Pro Forma 112. This is required every year by the IRS for foreign-owned single-member LLCs. Even if you made $0 in profit, it reports your LLC ownership and any transactions, and there is a big penalty for missing or a late filing of at least $25,000 or more. Also, you need to do your annual report/state renewal. This keeps your LLC legally active within your formation state. For example, with Wyoming, when you renew, you gotta pay $60 again for the entire year. This basically confirms that your registered agent and the company address is still valid. And this is also why I recommend using a good registered agent so much. They provide an annual report and the renewal service where they will prepare and submit your state's annual report on your behalf, and they include state compliance filings as part of the service and business maintenance services. So this is pretty much it. You now got your own Amazon seller account set up in the US as a non-resident with a US business bank account. If this video helped you out, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more. I've got links to the services I mentioned in the description below for Northwest Registered Agent, Mercury Bank, and some other helpful resources as well. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.